Hello and welcome to another review from Colour with Claire. Today I've got a real treat for you guys. This is Whimsical Wonders colouring book by Julia Spiri, who is a freelance artist from Spain. Her style is very much influenced by fantasy and whimsical creatures, so if that's your bag, I'm 100% sure you're going to fall in love with this book. It's got to be one of the best produced, most high quality colouring books I have come across. And as you can see here, it is an artist edition, so you would expect some really good quality, but it far surpasses everything I was actually expecting from the book. The book was actually funded via Kickstarter, so Julia raised over €4,500 to get this book into production, and the dedication, the devotion to the quality of the book really does stand out. So first of all, a few little basics about it. It's 11 times 8.5 inches in size. It has a fairly normal glossy cover. There's nothing really special about it. It's very pretty and very colourful. And then the first thing you'll notice when we open the book is that this inside cover is partially in colour. So Julia is actually a painter first and foremost, and this is probably what her artwork would look like in its original state. And then obviously we have it in line work down the bottom here. Now you may think that, a bit like Jasmine Beckett Griffith, Julia's artwork has been turned into line art, so her original pieces turned into colouring pages, but that's not actually what Julia's done. Julia has spent the time to create 50 new characters for the book. So these aren't taken from paintings, they're not converted into line art, they're actually specially created and drawn for this book, and that's both with digital pencil and traditional pencil and paper as well. So lots and lots of work has gone into this. Another thing you might notice straight away is that the paper has a very ivory, creamy, off-white colour. So it's very vintage, very sort of in keeping with the fantasy theme of the book. It's not bright white, it's just lovely and creamy and a bit softer than white. Again, another thing to note is that each page is perforated, which is what all colourists love, because that means that we can just tear out our pages really easily, really cleanly, and we can frame them or display them, do whatever we want. So here you can see we've got a book belongs to page first of all, absolutely beautiful with this illustration around the bottom here, and this is the kind of thing that the book is centered on, this very, very fantasy, whimsical kind of artwork. Now another thing to note as I go through the book, the production quality, again, just second to none. It's actually been bound in the highest quality binding available to books nowadays, and that is called Smith sewn binding. It lays flat, and the pages are actually physically sewn into the book using binder's thread and then reinforced with fabric for durability. So these books, this kind of binding is made to last and last. So here's the one that I've actually coloured, as you can see. Absolutely had a ball colouring this. I did it with Prismacolor pencils and a bit of white gel pen for the highlights on the eyes there and the little dots in the flowers. To actually colour on, this paper is a dream. It's very toothy, so you will need a lot of layers if you're using a particularly creamy or soft coloured pencil like the Prismacolor. But that does give you the scope to build those layers and really make those blends seamless. If you're using markers, you will note that every single illustration is single-sided, so whether you use alcohol markers or water-based markers or even paints, watercolours, acrylics, whatever your choice of medium, you can chuck it at this paper and it's going to stand up to it. Another thing about the paper is that it's very, very thick. So obviously this is an artist edition, we would expect some thickness to the pages. It's actually 170 grams, which translates to £118 paper if you're in America. And that is a very, very thick paper stock, akin to card. So there's the little card ping that I normally do, just to show you how thick that is. It's a truly, truly lovely, very, very high quality paper stock. So as you can see, all of these characters, mostly females, couple of animals. We've got a steampunk lady here. We've got this one that's actually landscape oriented, but most of them are portrait like this. And each picture tells a story. So each character has its own little thing going on. This one is sort of like a Japanese geisha girl. This lady is sort of probably the flower princess or something like that. She's got these lovely flower buds on her corset. We've got the princess and the pea down here, so a little nod to fairy tale as well. And this could be Alice in Wonderland. Lots of cups and cake and teacups and all sorts of stuff. So there is a slight fairy tale kind of whimsical look to this, but lots and lots of different styles of art. Now, many of these pictures have a bit of shading on, like this one. I wouldn't call them grayscale. They're not dark enough to be grayscale, but they certainly have some shading to let you know where you can do your shading. But a lot of them are also just completely simple, clean line work like this. So there's something for everyone. I particularly love the ones that are slightly shaded. So this lady wearing a turban, obviously in Arabia, just absolutely beautiful. And then we've actually got a genie here as well. So these are really fun images. We've got a mermaid, another mermaid there, under the sea. Now this one's hair is actually making the waves of the ocean. Absolutely beautiful, just very inspired ideas. Incredible to have thought up all of these different sort of stories within the character. You'll also notice that all of the characters are centered on the page, so nothing's going off the edge or into the spine. You don't have to worry about that. Now this here are some postcard sized ones, so you can either colour those as a whole or you can cut them out and have them as postcards. It's totally up to you. You've got a blank reverse, so you can do whatever you want with them. Love this French one with the Eiffel Tower in the background. Again, another beautiful, beautiful image. The couple sat here looking at the Eiffel Tower. So as I said, and I'm sure as you've seen by now, this really is an incredible and very, very unique colouring book. Absolutely amazing just how much time and effort has been put into the production of the book. And I'm sure that every single colourist who buys this will not regret it. So we've got a little bit of a author's note in the background there, in the back cover there, and a few of her links so that you can find her online as well. Okay, so pricing. Now, what would you expect this book to cost? Comment below, tell me what you think it would cost. So it's got the perforated pages, the very, very high quality thick cardstock, just absolutely incredible production, and it's all one-sided and all the images are beautiful. So what would you expect to pay? Let me know. The actual price for this 50 different colouring pages is £10.68 on Amazon UK and $14.31 on Amazon US. You can also get it from Etsy for a slightly bigger price, which is £12.22 or $15.95. Now, I'm pretty sure that a lot of your figures would have been higher than that. If we think about the Japanese colouring books, Kanoko Agusa and Chiaki Aida's books, they're often over £20 for the book. And there's nothing wrong with the books. The books are beautiful. The illustrations especially are incredible, but it's not a quality akin to this book. And I just think for a tenner, you've got to get your hands on this book if this is artwork that you love. It's absolutely incredible. I can't praise it enough. And if you do want to buy it, all the links will be in the description below. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, and I'll see you next time on Colour with Claire.